Now I'm ready to move on to the next section, section 2, which is classroom data. But before I do that, I notice that my text in this cell is larger than the other text. That really bothers me. I want to fix that. There's a couple of things that I can do to fix that. One of them is to click on the ribbon. I clicked up here on Home. Click on the ribbon where my formatting cells are, and I'm going to make that 10 because I know all of the other text is a 10. Oh, I'm wrong. All of the other text is a 9. I can tell because I clicked in this cell and I saw that it's a 9 here. And so I want this to be the same size. So I'm going to make that a 9. And now my OCD is satisfied and I can move on. Now I'm going to scroll over a little bit with my arrow key so I can see my whole section 2 here. We have some more select cells, so we're looking at adding in a content area. Then we're going to be able to use whatever you want to use for the rest of these entries. So let's fill one out to see what we're talking about. I'm going to first look in math content area. So my content areas as well as attendance and tardies are listed in this section. So I'm going to look at math, and the topic that I want to address is counting. I get to write in here whatever I want. You could put in a unit, you can put in a course, you can put in a theme. So in middle school and high school I might be putting in biology or physics, but in elementary I'm usually going to be putting in a topic or a unit or some theme that I'm working on. I noticed that my student wasn't counting very well during classroom observation, so I'm just going to put observation in here. Again, it's anything that you've used to evaluate how the student is doing in the topic and the content area. I'll click over here in proficient score, and right now at this time I'm expecting Harry to be able to count to 20. And I'm tabbing, but Harry can only count to 10. And you know, I'm looking at Harry's overall performance, and part of this is due to the fact that he comes to school late, and I do math class first thing in the morning, and he's tardy, and he's been tardy several days in a row since we've started school. So I'm attributing his tardies during this time that we're studying math to his lack of proficiency. And notice how you can enter tardies according to what content area, or for some folks it might be what period during the day that you're delivering the subject area. I'm also going to talk a little bit about Harry's reading, and this I'm going to say this is my reading unit because I haven't made up the name of one for this tutorial. And again, I can say, hey, through observation, I've noticed that little Harry recognizes these letters, and these are all part of the proficiencies that he's supposed to know at this time. And in fact, Harry does know these, and so rather than type this again, I'm going to click in this cell. Look at this little handle down here. In order to get that information in the next cell, I can grab that handle. I wait until my cursor becomes a cross, and I can drag it across. The other thing I can do is copy that cell and paste it here. The other thing I can do is copy and paste. So I'm going to push my backspace key to get rid of that so I can show you. Then I can do edit copy and click in the cell I want to move to and do edit paste. Then I'm going to backspace again to delete that, because I want you also to know that I can press down my command key and hold down my command key and press C, and that copies the cell. Notice how we have marching ants I click on the cell I want it to go to, and I am Command V. We vomit that back up. And notice how the marching ants are still around that cell, and I want to get rid of those. And so I just press my Escape key. So Harry's doing great in this, and absences and tardies don't enter into anything at all. So I'm also going to now choose another content area. I'm going to look at science, and I have a habitat unit that we worked on. And there were science journals that my little kids were adding pictures and drawings to. And the proficiency was that they complete all of the entries. And little Harry did that. And so I'm just going to copy that information. I want parents to know that he does complete quite a bit of his work. And lastly, I'm going to look at Harry's writing. And so he's supposed to be able to write his first name by now. And we practice this in class, so this is classwork. The proficiency is to write first name, and Harry, being the rocket scientist that he is, does that, and I copied that over. And so I can add more information here, but this is, in my opinion, enough information to give to the parents so they can see how the student is doing as we approach the end of this first reporting period.